everyone. A very good evening to all of you and welcome to today's live session. So this is Gayatri here. So as you all know, today the topic that we are going to be discussing is allegations and mixtures. Okay, and this is there are not a lot of concepts involved in this topic, right? A very few concepts and a very few formulas that you will have to keep in mind to solve questions from this topic. So as we always do, first we will see the concepts that is involved in this topic and then we will go about solving questions from this topic. So let me share my screen, and first we will discuss the basics and solve questions that has been previously asked from this topic in bank exams or SSC exams. So as I always say, like for all those of you who are new to these sessions, see, these are refresher sessions that we are conducting wherein we will be discussing questions that has been previously asked in the recent exams from these topics. Okay, so today's topic is going to be allegations and mixtures. So let me share my screen. Now before we start, okay, first, how do you define a mixture? Okay, the topic is allegations and mixtures. So you guys tell me, how do we define a mixture? What is a mixture? See, when you combine components, right, of the same type of different quantities, right? Let's say you have two varieties of rice, rice 1 and rice 2. Okay, you are mixing these two, right? When you mix these two different varieties of a commodity, you get a mixture. Similarly, let's say you are mixing water and alcohol. Okay, if you mix that, again two different commodities you are mixing, you get a mixture. So generally mixtures are pertaining to mixtures are nothing but combination of many components. Yeah. Now let me share my screen. And so this allegation, okay, allegation is a rule which will help you solve problems faster from mixtures. Okay, a few problems wherein you have to find the ratio of the commodities that you have to mix, or the new price that you will get when you mix two commodities in a particular ratio. For such questions, the rule of allegation comes in very handy. See, one thing you must be clear is that using the rule of allegation is just one method of solving questions from this topic, from mixtures, which will actually ease the calculations. But if you don't solve it using allegation and you solve it conceptually also, you will get the answer. But generally method of allegation will be very easy to solve a few questions. You will get the answer in one step. So that is why all of us should know the method of allegation very well. So let us just discuss what allegation is. Okay, so as I said, the allegation rule helps us to find the ratio in which two commodities have to be mixed to obtain a mixture. Okay, now how do when two commodities means this may be based on the price of the commodity, the strength of the two commodities, etc., to form the mixture. Okay, so let us first see what is allegation rule. Yes, I'll just define the allegation rule. See, you needn't know the definition. You just, even if you remember the diagram for allegation, right, that's more than enough to solve the questions. Okay. Definition always sounds a bit confusing. It's better to remember the pictorial representation for allegation. So actually the allegation rule states that quantities of two commodities is inversely proportional to the difference of their costs with their mean costs. Okay. Now the best way to remember it is it like this. See, you have two commodities. Okay. Let us say it is cost of, there are two commodities. So definitely one is going to be costlier and one is going to be cheaper. Okay. So this is the pictorial representation. Okay, I'm sure all of you would have seen these in the video lessons. It is detailedly explained. Okay, explained in detail there. I'm just skimming through the basics. Okay, so just remember this picture in your mind. Okay, this figure, if you remember in your mind, it's very easy to solve these such questions on where you have to use the concept of allegations. Okay, so you can either remember it this way, or there is also a formula, right? See, you can write it like quantity of cheaper by quantity of dearer is equal to cost of the dearer minus cost of the mixture divided by cost of the mixture minus cost of the cheaper. So sometimes we find it difficult to remember these formulas, so it is represented pictorially like this. So the best way to remember this, this is with the help of an example. Okay, instead of saying dearer, cheaper and all that. See, if you have two varieties of rice, okay, let us say one variety which is costing 25 rupees per kg. Okay, there is first variety of rice that costs 25 rupees per kg, and another variety of rice which costs 20 rupees per kg. Now I want to mix these two rice in such a way that the resultant mixture that I get is costing 23 rupees per kg. Now in what ratio should I mix them? So you just apply it in this diagram. It will be very easy to solve. So what is given, what is the cost of the expensive one of the two? Which is more expensive? The more expensive one is the one which is 25, correct? So I am mixing rice which costs 25 rupees per kg and rice which is costing 20 rupees per kg to get a resultant mixture whose cost is 23 rupees per kg, correct? Now what is 23 minus 20? 23 minus 20 is nothing but 3, correct? So this is, how do you get this? This is nothing but, okay, 3, and this is 25 minus 23, that is nothing but 2. So this is the quantity in which you have to mix them. Now what do I do here is actually I subtract, okay, I subtract the cost of the mixture minus the cost of the cheaper one, right? And here what I do is I subtract the cost of the expensive variety minus the cost of the mixture, right, or the mean cost. So when you do that, you directly get the answer, okay, very easy. Just you have to subtract both the terms on the top, right, with the mean value. If you subtract and write the corresponding ratios, you get the answer. So 25 minus 23 will give you 2, 23 minus 20 will give you 3. So this is the basic rule of alligation. It is very easy. Basically the alligation rule helps us to find the ratio in which two commodities have to be mixed to obtain a mixture, okay. Now generally how we do is remember this diagram to when you are using alligation. I leave it to you whether to use this formula while doing calculations in exams, because some of us find it very easy to always make use of formula to save time. So this is the formula, okay. See, for example, if there are n vessels, right, there are n vessels and there are, let us say 1, 2, so many vessels are there. Now in each vessel there are 2 liquids, okay, P and Q. There are 2 liquids and the capacity of all the vessels are the same, okay, the capacity of all the vessels are the same, and in the first vessel the liquid P and Q are in the ratio P1 is to Q1. In the second vessel the liquids P and Q are in the ratio P2 is to Q2, right. In the third vessel the liquids are in the ratio P3 is to Q3. Similarly, in the nth vessel the liquids are in the ratio Pn is to Qn. If this is the case, then if I am mixing all the contents, okay, in all these n vessels together in one vessel, I am pouring all these solutions into one vessel, then in this big vessel, right, now what am I doing? In this big vessel I am adding all these solutions together, okay. When I add that, the resultant, okay, ratio of the liquids P and Q in this vessel is given by a formula. Now the formula is this. Sometimes it is very handy while solving questions, so let us just discuss that. So what am I trying to say here? If you have n vessels of equal size, okay, and are filled with mixture of P and Q in the ratio P1 is to Q1, P2 is to Q2, P3 is to Q3 till Pn is to Qn, and content of all these vessels are mixed into one large vessel or poured into one large vessel, then the quantity of the liquid P to the quantity of the liquid Q, okay, in the vessel is given by this formula, okay, P1 by P1 plus Q1 plus P2 by P2 plus Q2 Pn by Qn divided by Q1 by P1 plus Q1 plus Q2 by P2 plus Q2 plus etc. Qn by Pn plus Qn. Okay, so this is a formula which you can use. So actually if you know the concept, this formula is not even required, directly you can solve, but again if you want to remember these formulas, remember this formula. Okay, so if there are n vessels of equal size and are filled with a mixture of P and Q in the ratio P1 is to Q1, P1 is to Q2 etc. till Pn is to Qn, and all the contents of these vessels are mixed in one large vessel, then you can say like this. Okay, so now let's look at the questions, directly start solving the questions. Now as I said, when it comes to alligations and mixtures, first remember the alligation rule, then again this formula you can remember for a few problems it is very helpful. And then the next thing that all of us need to know is how to solve questions on replacement, right? Replacement questions wherein there is a solution and you're taking out some solution from the container and replacing it with something else, right? Questions of that sort. So what we will do is when we solve a question, we will take that up, right? How to solve questions involving replacement and what is the formula that you have to use to solve such questions. Now, let us look at the first question for today's session. The first question for today's session is there on your screen. So all of you start solving. The ratio in which a man must mix rice at rupees 10.20 per kg and rupees 14.40 per kg so as to make a mixture worth rupees 12.60 per kg is dash. So see, remember that diagram, right? We learned the cost of the dearer quantity. Dearer, generally it is represented as D, okay? Cost of the cheaper quantity. So when you are mixing those two, you get a mean price, right? Or the price at which you want to actually make the mixture, right? Or the cost of the mixture. So when you subtract these two, what do you get? CD minus CM, and this will be CM minus CC. So this is the quantity ratio in which you should mix them, correct? Quantity. So the ratio in which a man must mix 10.20 per kg and 14.40 per kg so as to. So here what is quantity of the dearer quantity is what? It is the expensive one, right? 14.40. Now the cheaper one, that is what? It is 10.20. So you are mixing that, you are getting a mean price, correct? What is your mean price? The mean price is nothing but 12.60. CD minus CM. What is CD minus CM? CD minus CM is nothing but 14.40 minus 12.60. Correct? Right, generally it is better to go with the diagram so that you don't make a mistake. Okay, see, if you don't go with the diagram, the other way in which you can do it is just apply it in the equation, right? See, quantity of the, you can do it this way also. Quantity of the cheaper by quantity of the dearer is equal to, what is the cost of the dearer quantity? The cost of the dearer quantity 14.40 minus the cost of the mixture, correct? Cost of the mixture is nothing but 12.60 divided by cost of the mixture, that is 12.60 minus cost of the cheaper quantity. Cost of the cheaper quantity is 10.20. So either you can do it this way or this way. So if you actually do it this way, what do you get? 14.40 minus 12.60 is 1.80 and 12.60 minus 10.20, correct? That is 2.40. So you can get it this way also. So that is equal to, what is the answer that you get? 18 by 24, correct? So 3 by 4. So the quantity of the cheaper quantity to the quantity of the dearer quantity is 3:4. Now in the question what they have asked, in what ratio should they mix 10 is to this? So basically what are they asking? Cheaper to expensive one, correct? So it has to be option A. Okay, I hope it is clear. See, if you do it this way, when you subtract, what do you get? 12.60 minus 10.20, correct? 12.60 minus 10.20 is what? It is nothing but 2.40, correct? Here 14.40 minus 12.60 is 1.80. Now what is this? This is actually the quantity of the dearer or the expensive one, and this is the quantity of the cheaper one. So when you write the ratios, you take it the opposite way, because they have asked you the ratio between, in what ratio should you should mix 10.20 per kg rice and 14.40 per kg rice. So you should actually write the answer as 3:4. Now let's move on to the next one. The next question is there on your screen. So here, see, all of you have done it correctly. So generally the same allegation rule to be used here, right? If you do that, cost of the mixture, right? So this will give you the like the cost of that is the quantity of the dearer quantity, the quantity of the cheaper quantity. So how do I get this? This is nothing but CM minus CC. This is nothing but CD minus CM, correct? So again, same thing you use here. You have gold, which is 19 times as heavy as water, and copper 9 times as heavy as water. So you have two things. One is 19 times as heavy, the other one is 9 times as heavy. So when you are mixing those two, you are getting something which is 15 times as heavy as water. So in what ratio should you mix them? correct? So 15 minus 9, 15 minus 9 is 6, 19 minus 15, that is 4. So this is the quantity of the dearer one, this is the quantity of the cheaper one. They have to be mixed in this ratio. So they have asked in what ratio should gold and copper be mixed, correct? So gold is definitely the dearer one. So this is 6 and this is 4. So they have to be mixed in the ratio 6:4 or 3:2. That is option D. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. In what ratio must water be mixed with milk costing rupees 12 per liter to obtain a mixture worth rupees 8 per liter? Again, the same formula to be applied. Okay, same allegation rule can be used here. So what are we doing? See, milk is costing 12 rupees per liter. You are mixing it with water. Okay. Now what is the cost of water? 0 rupees. Water has no cost, correct? And when you are mixing these two, you are getting a resultant mixture which is costing 8 rupees per liter. Okay. So now in what ratio should you mix them? You should mix them in the ratio. This is 12 minus 8 is 4, 8 minus 0 is 8, or they have to be mixed in the ratio 8:4. They are asking you the ratio in which water must be mixed with milk. Okay, yeah, see here in the question, in what ratio should water is to milk ratio is what you have to find. So here what have we got? Here we have got, this is what, this is quantity of the expensive one, quantity of the cheaper one, correct? So water is to milk will be 4/8, isn't that so? Yes, 1:2. So water is to milk means it is 4/8. If it is milk is to water, then it is 8/4. Okay, so the answer for this question would be option D, that is 1:2. Okay, water has to be mixed with milk in the ratio 1:2. Yeah. Now let's move on to the next question. The next question is there on your screen. See, one this thing that we have to always remember is how to take the ratios in allegations, like how we did for previous questions. We might end up making mistake. We would have actually got the correct answer, but while writing we might end up making a mistake. Questions are actually very easy, right? Now to solve this question, I am not going to use the allegation rule because I don't think that is required. As I said, allegation rule is one way of solving a question, okay? Now without using allegation also you can solve a question. So this particular question, I am not going to be using allegation rule. Let me see how to solve it. See, there is 15 liters of a mixture, okay? This has alcohol and water in the ratio 1:4. So what does that mean? How much alcohol and how much water is there? See, if there are totally 5 portions of the liquid, 1 out of 5 is alcohol, correct? So, or how much alcohol is there in 15 liters? 1/5 into 15, or 3 liters is alcohol. So how much water is going to be there? The remaining is water anyways, right? It is nothing but 15 minus 3 or 12 liters is water, or I can say 4/5 of 15 is water, correct? That is 12. Or directly we can say 12, 15 minus 3 is 12. So this is the amount of alcohol and water present in the mixture. Now again 3 liters of water is mixed in it. So now how much water is there? Alcohol is still 3 liters. Water is now how much? 12 plus 3 or 15 liters. So totally how much water is there? Totally there is 15 liters of water, and what is the amount of solution now? The total solution is now nothing but 15 plus 3 or 18 liters. So what is the amount, what is the percentage of alcohol in the new mixture? See, out of 18 liters, 3 liters is alcohol and 15 liters is water. So the percentage of alcohol is nothing but 3 divided by 15 plus 3, that is 18 into 100, or this is equal to 3 divided by 18 into 100, or that is 100 by 6, correct? 3 by 18, 1 by 6, so 100 by 6, or that is equal to 16, 2 by 3 percentage. So the answer for this question is option B. Is it clear? Okay, let's look at the next question. In a 729 liters of milk and water, the ratio of milk is to water is 7:6. How much more water is to be added to get a new mixture containing milk and water in the ratio 7:3? So what is the answer for this question? Alright, lot of you are giving me the answer for this question. Again, this question is solved this way. See, if you have 729 liters, okay, where milk and water are in the ratio 7:2. So this is milk is to water. Now how much more water is to be added so that the new mixture the new mixture has milk and water in the ratio 7:3. So that is what is asked. So in 729 liters, how much milk is there, how much water is there? See, if 7:2, it is in the ratio, correct? So 7/9 of 729 liters is milk, correct? Similarly, water is 2/9 of 729 liters. So this is water, or this is nothing but 81, correct? 81 into 7 is 567 liters, and this is again 81 into 2 or 162 liters. So this is the amount of milk and water present in the solution. Now what are we doing? We are adding x liters of water. Okay, when you add x liters of water, the ratio is becoming 7:3. See, this is a question which uses very simple ratio concept. So when you are adding x liters of water, this ratio is becoming 7:3. Now solve for this and get the value of x. Right, when you solve, all of you are getting the answer as 81 liters. Definitely that's a typo error, but the answer is 81. When you solve, you get x is equal to 81. That is option D. Okay, yeah. Now let's move on to the next question. Since it's like a solution wherein you add something, you get a different value, so I just took it for today's session. What must be added to each term of the ratio 2:5 so that it may be equal to 5:6? See, what you should know is all the questions that we are solving are questions that has been asked in bank exams or SSC exams. So just see how the difficulty level is. The questions are actually easy, right? So for those of you who have attempted lots of questions in the recent IBPS clerk, RBI assistant exams, etc., when such questions come, you should definitely answer it and get it correct also. Yeah, very easy question, no? Nothing much to solve here. See, you have what must be added to each term. So I am adding, let me add x to each term. So now the ratio is 2 plus x by 5 plus x, and it is given that this is equal to 5/6. Or you say 12 plus 6x is equal to 25 plus 5x. You solve, you get what you get, x is equal to, or x is equal to, subtract, you take this side, 25 minus 12, that is 13. X is equal to 13. That is option D. Okay, let's move on to the next question. A jar contains a mixture of A and B in the ratio 4:1. When 10 liters of the mixture is replaced with liquid B, the ratio becomes 2:3. The volume of liquid A present in the jar earlier was, okay, a jar contains a mixture of A and B in the ratio 4:1. So let us assume that jar A is 4x liters of A is there, and B 1x liters of B is there. When 10 liters of the mixture is replaced with liquid B, okay, so how much will replaced with liquid B, the ratio becomes 2:3. So when I am taking 10 liters, okay, in that how much of liquid A will be there and how much of liquid B will be there? In this 10 liters, 4/5, correct? 4x out of this 5x, totally there is 5x, correct? Or 4/5, 4/5 of this 10 liters is going to be A, liquid A, correct? Or that is 2, that is 8 liters is going to be liquid A. So I am going to remove 8 liters of liquid A. Similarly, how much of liquid B will be there? 1/5 of 10, correct? That is 2 liters of liquid B. So when I am removing 10 liters from the mixture, what happens is, when I remove 10 liters, out of that 10 liters, 8 liters will be liquid A and 2 liters will be liquid B. Okay, so A, B. Now first there was, let us say 4x liters, here there was 1x liters. Now I am removing 10 liters. So when I remove the 10 liters, what happens is, here it is becoming 4x minus 8 liters, and this is becoming 1x minus 2 liters. So this is the amount of liquid A and B that is there in the solution now. And then what is happening? You are adding 10 liters of the liquid B, correct? So if you are adding 10 liters of the liquid B, what happens? This is, you are adding 10 liters. So now what is the amount of A is to be in the solution? This is 4x minus 8, and this is x minus 2 plus 10, or that is equal to x plus 8, correct? X plus 8 is there. So now this ratio is, now they are giving it as 2:3. So 4x minus 8 divided by x plus 8, that is equal to 2/3. Or you solve for this, 12x minus 24 is equal to 2x plus 16. correct? Or what is that? 12x minus 2x, that is 10x, that is equal to 24 plus 16 is 40, correct? Or x is equal to 4. So the volume of liquid A present in the jar earlier, what was the volume of liquid A? 4x, correct? Liquid A was 4x. So 4 into 4, that is 16 liters. That is the answer. So let's move on to the next question. The next question is there on your screen. Box A contains wheat worth rupees 30 per kg and box B contains wheat worth rupees 40 per kg. If both A and B are mixed in the ratio 4:7, then the price of the mixture per kg is dash. Alright, so a lot of you are giving me the answer as 36.36. So here you can either use the formula or see that formula that we learnt, no? Alligation rule, same alligation rule you will be using. So cost of the dearer, right? Cost of the dearer, cost of the cheaper 30. When you are mixing, you are getting a new thing whose value is x. So here it is x minus 30, correct? X 36.36, okay, and this is 40 minus x. So if you just write the formula, right, since you have a lot of x variables involved, better to write it this way. The quantity of the cheaper quantity divided by the quantity of the dearer quantity, the ratio in which you have to mix them is nothing but equal to the cost of the dearer minus cost of the mixture divided by the cost of the mixture minus cost of the dearer. Same thing what we have represented, I have written it here. So what is the ratio that they have given? They have given 4/7, right? A and B, A is the cheaper one, B is the expensive one. So 4/7, that is equal to CD minus CM, that is what? 40 minus x divided by x minus 30. So you solve for this, what do you get? 4x minus 120 is equal to 280 minus 7x, or when you take it that side, you get 11x is equal to 400. So let me write it here. 11x is equal to 400, or x is equal to 400/11. So the price that you get is 400/11, or that is 36.36. Option A. Everybody is getting this answer correctly without an issue. Good. So let's move on to the next question. Next question is there on your screen. So this is a similar question to what we solved earlier. So I hope this time all of you give me the correct answer for this question, right? A can is full of a mixture in the ratio 7:5. So let us assume that, okay, A, 7x liters of A is there in the can. Similarly, B, 5x liters of B is there in the can. Now what is happening? 9 liters of the mixture is drawn off. So 9 liters is drawn off means in this 9 liters, how much A is there? 7/12 into 9, correct? Or I can say this is 3, this is 4, correct? So 21/4 liters of A is drawn. Similarly, how much B will be there? 5/12 into 9, again 3, 4, that is 15/4 liters of B is there. So out of this 9 liters that is being removed, 21/4 liters is A and 15/4 liters is B. And the same quantity of B is now replaced in the liquid. So what is actually happening? See, there is a liquid in which A and B are in the ratio 7x and 5x, 7:5. So I am assuming there is 7x liters of A and 5x liters of B. Out of the 7x liters, now how much A is there? 7x minus 21/4 liters of A is there in the liquid. And how much B is there? 5x minus 15/4, correct? To this I am adding quantity solution B, correct? So how much is there now? 5x minus 15/4 plus 10. So when this happens, the ratio is becoming 7:9. So what can I say? 7x minus 21/4 divided by 5x minus 15/4 plus 10, correct? That is nothing but minus 15 plus 40/10. So 40 minus 15 is 25, correct? So 25/4. So when you solve this, you get x minus 3/4 divided by 5 fours are 5. This is 21/4, correct? So this will become plus. So 20 plus correct, 5x, correct, that's correct, 21/4, that is equal to 1/9. Solve for this, you get x is equal to 36 liters. So the answer would be option D, that is 36 liters, right? Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. So the next question is there on your screen. Try it out and give me the answer. Again, very easy question. I think it is a very similar question to what was asked. Like we did a same question with, I think, only the naming is different, right? Here it is whiskey and soda. I think first we did water and soda. See, these are questions that has been asked in 2 different exams. So, and different, say I think it was one clerk's exam with different sittings. So we never know, the same type of question might repeat in the other sittings as well. So solve this question, very easy one. Here it is percentages, okay. You just convert the percentages, you get the answer. So 15 liters of a mixture contains 20% whiskey and 10% soda. So what is the ratio of whiskey is to soda? This is 20, means this is going to be 80, correct? So this is 1:4, this is in the ratio 1:4. So once we get this ratio, we come back to the same question that we solved, correct, previously. So here how much whiskey will be there in 15 liters? It is nothing but 1/5 into 15, that is 3 liters. Now how much soda will be there? 15 minus 3, that is 12 liters, or you can say 4/5 into 15, that is 12 liters. Now 3 liters of soda is added. So how much soda is there now? 12 plus 3, correct? 12 plus 3, that is 15 liters is there. Now they are asking what is the percentage of whiskey in the new mixture. So totally now how many liters are there? 15 plus this 3 liters of soda, that is out of 18 liters. How much whiskey is there? 3 liters of whiskey is there into 100, that is 100 by 6 or 16, 2 by 3 percentage. See, the same question reworded using percentages. Answer is option B. Okay, now next question. 16 liters of a mixture contains milk and water in the ratio 5:3. How much milk should be removed from this mixture so that the resulting mixture has milk and water in the ratio 4:3? So 16 liters of mixture contains milk and water in the ratio 5:3. So 5:3, how much milk should be removed from this? Okay, so out of the 16 liters, how much milk is there and how much water is there? Out of the 16 liters, if you take milk, milk is nothing but 5/8, correct? 5 out of 8, that is total. If it is 8, out of that 5/8 is milk, or 5/8 into 16, that is equal to 10 liters is milk. So how much water is there? 16 minus 10, or 6 liters is water. Now what are we doing? We are removing 10 minus, how much are we removing? How much should we remove? How much milk should we remove? So 10 minus x divided by 6. Now when you remove x liters of milk from this, you get the ratio as 4:3. How much is that? Find the value of x. You get x as, it's very easy question, very easy question to solve, 2 liters. Okay, that is answer is option C. See, mark scoring questions. Now let's move on to the next one. Next question is there on your screen. A vessel of 80 liters is filled with milk and water. 70% of milk and 30% of water is taken out of the vessel. It is found that the vessel is vacated by 55%. Find the initial quantity of milk and water. Okay, this question you can solve it either using alligations or using the normal method. So I'll do it using both ways, whichever is easier for you, you find it easier, you can do it that way. So what are they asking here? A vessel of 80 liters is filled with milk and water, okay, and 70% of the milk and 30% of the water is taken out. It is found that the vessel is vacated by 55%. Find the initial quantity of milk and water. The conceptual way of doing it is like this. Actually there is another very easy way. Okay, this particular question you can even solve it using equations. Okay, I find the method using equations to be very easy. So let me just do it for you. So what is happening here? See, you have milk and water. Okay, let me assume that there are x liters of milk and water, there are y liters of water in the solution. Now x plus y put together, how much liters is there? 80 liters is there. Now what are they saying? 70% of the milk and 30% of the water is taken out of the vessel. Okay, and it is found that the vessel is vacated by 55%. So 70 by 100 of x, okay, plus 30 by 100 of y, that is 70% of milk plus 30% of water. What do they account for? They account for 55% of the vessel, correct? Because when you are removing that much, 55% of the vessel is getting emptied, or this is nothing but 80 into 55 by 100. Solve for these two, you get, so this is one equation on x and y, this is another equation on x and y. Solve for these, you get the value of x and y. Very easy, see 100 will get cancelled, 0 will also get cancelled. So this is nothing but 7x plus 3y is equal to 8 into 55, correct? So 8 into 55 is 440, am I right? 440. Solve these two equations, you get x is equal to 50 liters, y is equal to 30 liters. So I find this to be very easy, no confusion, nothing. Option C. Everybody got it correctly? Even if you are using alligation, because you will have to use 1 or 2 more steps. So if you do it, see it is like 70% is there, 30% is there, you are mixing these two, and these two constitute for 55%, correct? So when you subtract, you get 25% and 15%. So they have to be, the ratio will be 5:3, then again 25:15, right? It's 5:3. So then again milk will be 80 by 5 plus, 5 by 5 plus 3 into 80, or that is equal to 50, and water will be 3 by 5 plus 3 into 80, that is equal to 30. So I don't prefer this method, yeah. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is there on your screen. So this question is on replacement, right? Withdrawing and replacement. So you would have gone through the video lesson for this particular thing. Otherwise, go through, I think it is model 3 in the on the video lessons. You can check that, 3 or 4, I'm not sure. So okay, how you approach such questions is, see, first the best way to do it is, there is a formula that you can use to answer such questions. First, let us understand what is given, okay? See, there is a container that has 40 liters of milk in it. Now from this containers, 4 liters of milk is taken out, okay? So there is a container where first there was only 40 liters of milk, there is no water there, okay? Now I am taking out 4 liters of milk, means how much milk is there? 36 liters of milk is there, and what am I doing? I am adding 4 liters of water. So I am adding 4 liters of water now. Now again if I take, then it is saying I am repeating this process 2 times. What you should remember here is, the next time when I remove 4 liters, it is not 4 liters of milk that I remove, correct? I remove, when the 4 liters that I remove, there will be some milk and some water, okay? Remember that. So that is what comes into play. So some of you gave me the answer as 28. I am assuming you guys directly gave me the answer by just removing 4 liter. First I remove 40 liters, I remove 4 liter, I get 36 liters of milk. Then I again remove 4 liters, I get 32 liters of milk. Then I again remove 4 liters, I get 28 liters of milk. No, that's not how you do it for those of you who gave me the answer as 28 liters, okay? Now, see, after this first step, let me just explain it further to you. After this first step, what is happening? Now I have 36 liters of milk and 4 liters of water. So totally I have 40 liters of a mixture in which milk and water are in the ratio 9:1. So if I am now removing 4 liters of this mixture, how much milk do I remove and how much water do I remove? See, I will remove 9/10 into 4 liters of milk. Correct? That is the amount of milk that I will remove, and the water that I will be removing will be 1/10 into 4. Okay, so the remaining amount of milk after I remove this 4 liters is going to be 36 minus 9/10 into 4. Okay, similarly the remaining amount of water that will be there will be 4 minus 1/10 into 4. Okay, so this should be there in your mind. Okay, when you solve such questions, but this method of doing generally consumes a lot of time. This is the actual way in which you approach the question, where you can do the next step will be, again you are adding 4 liters of water. So the amount of milk that is going to be there is now 36 minus 18/5, same milk will be there. Water, to this again you are adding 4 liters, so 4 minus 4/10 plus again 4 liters and so on, right? It's very tedious, takes lot of time. So if there is 40 liters of milk and 0 liters of water, when I am removing 4 liters of milk, the first time remember that the the solution is pure, only milk is there. So now there is 36 liters of milk and I am adding 4 liters of water to it. So now in net I have a solution, right, or a mixture wherein 36 liters is milk and 4 liters is water. So when you are actually removing now 4 liters in the next step, okay, in the next step you are removing again 4 liters. When you remove that 4 liters again, remember that you are not only removing the milk, you are also removing some amount of water. So that is how you calculate that, is using this method that I just explained. Okay. So I hope it is clear. So this is the actual way in which we do, which actually consumes a lot of time. There is a formula which you can use, okay, to solve such questions on removal and replacement, that is A into 1 minus B by A whole to the power n. Okay. Now let me just explain to you what this formula is. See, if you have a vessel, okay, wherein you have A liters of milk, it needn't be milk, something, okay, here in this particular question it is milk, right. If you have A liters of milk from which you are removing B liters, okay, you are removing B liters of milk and replacing it with water, okay, and you are doing this process for, let's say, n number of times. In that case, your the quantity of milk left over after these n iterations will be A into 1 minus B by A whole to the power of n. So here the formula to be used is this: if you have A liters of milk in a vessel, out of which you are removing B liters, you are withdrawing B liters and replacing it with B liters of water, and you are repeating that process for n number of times, then after the n number of times is done, the quantity of milk left over in the solution is going to be A into 1 minus B by A whole to the power of n. So here in this question, see what is happening now. From this container 4 liters of milk was taken and replaced by water, okay. This process was repeated further 2 times. So what does that mean? See, actually you had 40 liters of milk, correct. From that you removed 4 liters, replaced, then again you are doing that 2 times. So totally the process of removal and replacement, right, the process of removal and replacement, how many times have we done? We have done it 3 times. Again, another small mistake that we are all likely to do is, we will all take n is equal to 2. No, remember here in this question n is going to be 3, because they are saying that this process you did once, then you are again doing it 2 times. So totally how many times have you done it? You have done it 3 times. So in this formula, just apply the values. 40 into 1 minus B is what? 4 liters is what you are removing. 4 by 40 to the power of n, n is 3 times. So 40 into 4 by 40 is 1 by 10, correct, 1 by 10, that is 9 by 10 whole cube, or that is equal to 40 into 10 cube is 1000, 9 nines are 81, 81 into 9 is 729, correct. So 729 into 4, 2916 by 100 or 29.16, that is option A, okay. So hope it is clear. Very easy formula, directly you can apply. So whenever you have questions on removal and replacement, this formula is generally useful. But again, in some very complex questions, even the formula you will not be able to use. You will have to use conceptual method. If such question comes, then I would say choose the question wisely, because in the given time, solving such removal replacement questions without formula is going to be difficult. It's not that you cannot do it. It is generally easy only, but at times time is a constraint for us, right? I think with that we have come to an end of the questions that has been chosen for this session. So this was a fairly easy topic, no, in the sense not too much types involved. So these are the questions that has been recently asked in the exams. So other than this, there are various types of questions that is available from this particular topic. If you go through, you will get. So I hope it was clear. Nothing much to be remembered from this topic. As I said, remember the alligations rule, then remember the removal replacement formula, okay, and understand the concept. Most important thing is you should be clear of the concept, okay, that's all. And I'm sure all of you will be able to crack questions from this topic. And okay, so hope we are done for today's session, yeah, and all the very best with your preparations. Any doubts that you have in any of the questions that we solved today? I hope all the explanations were also clear. So all the very best with your preparation, and this is Gayatri signing off, and I'll see you in the next session.